I hope that everything is fine, and if you have question, go ahead and ask in the chat. So today's topic is: Are you attached to the outcome? That's a big one, right? And we all struggle with attachment. Even me, we all struggle with attachment. So what is attachment? Attachment is that you want that the results or the outcome will be in a certain specific way, right? And if you're not going to get it, oh my God, this is like, for you, it's like disaster, it's like the end of the world, it's like, oh my God, I don't know what would happen if I'm not going to get it, or if it's not going to be in a certain way, right? So basically, how do you know if you attached? What does attachment look like? Attachment look like having a lot of anxiety, right? When you think about like things that going to happen in the future, you have a lot of anxiety. Oh, I wonder how it will turn out. Oh, yes, and it can be a lot of anxiety. It can be a lot of, a lot of like holding on to things, right? Not releasing things, right? If you know that something is not good for you and you still do it, right? You are attached, right? And just think about it, like attachment, it's part of the human experience, because attachment is something that we develop, right? When we are little children. Like, just look at little children that they like holding on so tight to their like toy, right? Or they don't want to share their toy, or and you can actually start to notice how attachment begins, right? So attachment, it can be, there's like an healthy attachment, but there's like a non-healthy attachment. And and most of us, the attachment we have, it's not really beneficial for us, right? Because just think about it, because when you are attached to something, or when you want that things will happen a certain way, it actually, you projecting that you're not really trusting the universe, or you don't really trust that everything will work out for you, right? There's things that you can do, but at a certain way you have to release it, right? So attachment can looks like overthinking, or having a lot of anxiety. What you want that this thing will happen a certain way, or you want that the reaction, that someone will react in a specific way, right? You are so attached, and if something will happen, oh my God, this is like the end of the world, and this is, I don't use this word, but this is going to be like a disaster, right? Hi everyone, good morning. This is going to be a disaster if nothing, you want to control everything. If things are not going to be your way, this is the end of the world, right? And we all struggle, and we were raised, like I said, uh, uh, we were learned. This is what people taught us, to be attached to things, right? To be attached. This is how, and it really happens since we are children, right? We are attached to our toys, we are attached to our parents. We don't want them to go, right? Hi everyone, good morning. We don't want them to, right? We don't want our parents to go. And when we grow up, we are attached to having like a specific grade, right? Our exams or our school, what we want to be like. So attachment, it's all around us. It's all around us. And because there is a lot of pressure. Good morning, everyone. Because there is like a lot of pressure from everyone, from society, to be a certain way. So it's really easy for us to fall into the trap of attachment, and to fall into the trap of that we want things will happen in a certain way, right? So what are you doing when you are too attached? I know from I'm still do it up until today from experience. If I feel that I really, attachment, the most like common way that you can recognize attachment is that you really, really want something. You really want something, and you're like, if you're not going to get it, it is like going to be the end of the world. So I know, and I guess that you already know, that when we really want something, we're actually going to repel it, and we're going to delay our own blessings, Because when we really want something and we hold on to something, we can't really allow the natural forces, right, to bring that thing to us. Or maybe there's like a better outcome, but you just can't see it right now because our mind is so limited and we can't really see the ways, the infinite ways that the universe can bring us the things that we desire, right? Or sometimes we think that something is good for us, but actually not. But actually there are better things, but we are so attached and we are so like, we don't, sometimes it's okay to focus on your goals and desire, but when you start to feel anxious, then you need to take a step back, right? Because I wonder how it will be, when you start to feel this anxiousness. And I know, I have it too from time to time. So I'm telling myself, okay, Limor, no, you are too attached. No, you're holding on too tight. You're holding on too tight to things. You're holding on too tight. So you have to release it, right? You have to release it. You've done everything you could. Now it's not, you don't have control over the situation. You don't have control over the outcome. You don't have control over the way that the other person is going to react to the thing that you're going to tell him. You don't have control over you have control over the one thing that you have control over is how you act and how you feel. This is the only thing that you have control over, right? And of course, especially if you are in the manifesting community, there's a way for you to, to attract the thing that you want, right? Like visualizing, like scripting, right? Like affirming out loud. So that's okay to do those things, but the best thing to do, I learned from my experience, is you have to do all those things and immediately you have to let it go. You have to let it go, like immediately. So it doesn't mean that if you are trying, to manifest something, you are not going to get it, or you have to let go for it. But letting go is more like, letting go, it doesn't have like, I'm going to let it go. It's like more of you need to find a way to calm yourself and your nervous system, that everything is good, that you are good either way. So I actually, I say it out loud. When I feel that I'm too attached to something or I want things to happen in a certain way, I'm telling myself, you know what? I'm good either way. I don't care. I don't, it's not caring. It's just that, I'm good either way. So either I'm going to receive it or it will be in the way that I want or something better. I will let the universe to decide, right? Right? So, so there's things that you can do right now to release the attachment and to release the outcome. And so instead of thinking, how do I let go? How do I let go? Think, how do I trust more? How do I trust more, right? So every time, like even though every time you feel like you want things to happen in a certain way, I'm like telling myself, you know what, Limor? If you are holding on too tight, it means that you are not trusting. And you are not trusting. So how can, because a lot of the time, I'm sure that you had those experiences when you thought that things will happen in a certain way. And then you didn't know what to do and you let it go. And then you receive it in a crazy way. Like you're like, oh my God, in a million years, I wouldn't have thought that's the way I'm going to receive it. Because when you are showing the universe that you trust and you good either way, that's exactly the reflection that you are going to get, right? Because when you're telling yourself, this is like, it's not even about receiving what you want. It's about what we actually really want. It's to feel good about ourselves and to feel good either way. What we really want, it's not to be outcome dependent. What we really want, it's to feel good regardless. That's what we really want. So if the inner work will be around your feeling whole and complete, so when you feel whole and complete, so and you feel like you're good in either way, and you've got, I am telling myself I'm good either way, I've got everything I need right here, right here. I don't need anything outside of myself to complete me, or I don't need anything outside of myself to feel good about myself. So, and you know what the magic? The magic is when you feel good about yourself, and when you having like this practice, and you feel all and complete regardless of the outside reality, or regardless of the outcome that you get or not get. When you do it, actually, if the universe is just one big copying machine, so if you're telling myself, I'm complete, I've got everything I need right here, so what do you think the universe will give you? It will give you everything you need, because you are just a reflection. So when you all and complete and I've got everything, so the universe says, yes, you've got everything. And then you start to see it in your outside reality, right? But when you are attached to, oh, I need it, I need it, I need it to feel good about myself, even just subconsciously, because we don't do it consciously, oh, I want it to feel good about myself. You just, you want things because you want to feel a certain way. And we think that if we have this certain something, or if we have this specific outcome, we will have these emotions that we want. But the real secret is to feel it before you receive it, because it's from the inside out. Everything is just a reflection. So if you do, like those people that, oh, when I have it, I will be happy. Like everyone, all of us. Oh, when I have it, I will feel a certain way. So the secret is to catch yourself as, no, because I know how the law of the universe works, right? So everything is just a reflection. So if I'm waiting for the outside reality to change, things are not going to change, right? Because the outside is just a reflection of my inner state, of my state of mind, right? So the real key is to change your state of mind. And even you have like to trick yourself in a way that you good either way and you got everything. Even if you don't, if you are going to brainwash yourself over and over and over again, you will start to feel different. And you're like, yeah, you know what, whatever, I don't need it, right? Because it's all about repetition. When you're going to repeat it all over again, you're going to brainwash yourself that you're good either way. Yes, it will be nice if that will be the outcome. It will be nice if I will receive it. But you know what? I desire this or something better. And I don't have control over how the other person is going to react. So it's all about calming ourselves, right? And to feel good about ourselves regardless. And I know it's difficult. I know it's difficult because when we want something, or when we want things to happen in a certain way, or when we want to receive that reaction, it makes us feel like, not in a good way. We're not going to feel good about ourselves if something that we really want is not going to happen the way we want it. But sometimes, just think about it, that everything is already destined for you. So another way to release the attachment, it's like I'm telling myself, you know what? If it's my destiny to experience it or to have it, so it will happen. So there's a certain time that after you do everything you can, that you have just to trust, because you don't have any choice. The other choice is to sit there and to be anxious about it, and to really like put a lot of resistance to the situation. And when we put resistance, we're actually blocking our own blessings, right? Because we don't create any room or space for the universe to come in. You're like, okay, universe, I'm good. Everything is good. You know what? I'm good. I don't need you. I don't need you. Everything is good, right? So the universe, okay, so go ahead and do it with your limited mind. And when I'm saying mind, because that most of our reality is created by our subconscious mind. So our logical mind, it doesn't really create our reality, right? So, and when you want to connect to your subconscious mind, when you want things to happen when you want to things happen in a certain way, so you are not letting your subconscious mind, right, to do it for you. And you hear it from all the spiritual teacher. You don't have to know how it's going to happen. You just need to know that that you don't even have to be certain that, oh, I know it's going to happen, because it's really hard for us. You need to tell yourself that that there's a possibility that it will happen. It's a possibility, right? Everything can happen. Even the most pessimistic person, like I always tell I have like a client, and she's like, and she's really self-aware, and I'm like, I always have these negative thoughts or negative. So I'm telling her, you know what? You don't have to be spiritual, nothing, none of that. Just common sense. There's a 50 chance that things won't work out, but what about the other 50 chance that things will work out, right? So it's all about what are you choosing? What do you want to choose? Yes, there's a lot of possibilities and negative outcomes, but when you focus on those outcomes, it makes you feel worse, or it doesn't make you feel good. So why should you do it? It doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve you, right? And another way to release the resistance is to be playful. To be playful about it. You know what? Like this, because everything, like everything in the universe is consciousness. And that's not me saying, right? This is like quantum physics and stuff. So everything is consciousness, right? So if everything is consciousness, you can tell yourself that, things want you more than you want them. Just to be playful about it. Oh, no, you know what? I don't even want that. Like, you know, that job want me more than I want them. That money, that abundance, that person, right? They want me more than I want them. Start to be, because when you are playful, think about it. When you are playful and when you are like in a really good mood, you're not really feel so attached to things, right? So have you ever had those days when you just had like a really positive and good mood, right? And you were just flowing. You really didn't think about, oh, I need it, I want it, and things just started to happen one after another, and like, oh my God, this is like my lucky day, right? This is why? Because you were on a vibration. You didn't have a lot of attachment, right? You didn't really holding on to things so tight. You were just flowing. You were just present, right? You were just flowing, and things started to happen because what actually you did by being present, by flowing, by being in flow with the universe and right? To allow things to happen, being in the allowance state. Actually, when you did it, the universe could come in and to make those things happen for you, because we don't decide how things are going to happen. And sometimes things are going to happen that seems like bad. I know it's cheesy and cliche, right? Everything is for the best, blah blah blah. But sometimes when things will happen, it wouldn't be what you want it to be, but not really. Like shortly after you received what you wanted, and you're like, oh my God, I'm so grateful that this has happened the way it did, because otherwise I wouldn't have received what I desire, right? So sometimes it looks like there's a saying, the um, the wrong turn will lead you to the right path, right? So sometimes it would look like, hi everyone, feel free to ask question if you have question. So sometimes it will look like that things are not happening, they are not happening in your favor, right? But actually, This is just a disguise. And there's something that I learned from Rhonda Byrne. She's the one that wrote The Secret. I really love her books. I will talk about her books, later in one of those lives. So every time that something happened that it looks like not in our favor, or you expected something different and you wanted to turn out in a different way. So I was telling myself, I wonder what a good thing can come out of this situation. I wonder. I wonder, right? So it's all about you making yourself feeling good. And you can tell me, you know what, Limor, I don't feel good because my life is crappy and I have a lot of challenges. And you know what? It's easy to say it, but it's not really right. I know, but this is why that's a practice. And this is how you have to, slow down and be compassionate with yourself also. You're exactly where you are at right now. This is exactly where you are supposed to be right now. Everyone has a different journey, and even if you think that the other person or people have everything figured out and their life are perfect, I promise you, it's not like that. It doesn't matter how much money they have or whatever. It doesn't matter, right? So everyone has its own challenges. So the real key is that every time that you want to fix something external in your reality, if you know that you are the source and you are the cause, right? So it's all about coming back to yourself, and it's all about calming yourself down. I'm complete. You know what? I don't need it. I have everything I need right here inside of me. And I used to say to myself every day when I was going through my spiritual awakening, because when I had my spiritual awakening, it was, I think, like 7 years ago. So I had a really bad breakup with someone. And I was so attached to this person. I'm like, oh my God, no, this was like the end of the world for me. And but at a certain point, I didn't care about that guy. I just wanted to feel better. So I started to look for things. Oh, how can I feel better? How can I? And then I was, one of my past coaches, he introduced me to the book The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, which I think it's a must. If you want to feel better in this present moment, if you want to calm your nervous system, if you want to feel more at peace, go and read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. They have the audiobook on YouTube. So this book literally changed my life, and my energy was all over the place for 9-12 months. So when I started to practice mindfulness and being present, and that book really helped me with that, it took me like 9 to 12 months just to balance my energy, and so I know what you're going through. And I'm telling you, in our life there are seasons. So there are seasons that you're going to feel more in flow and better. And sometimes they're really like challenging seasons when you like, oh my God, I don't know why I'm experiencing it. Or even after you had your spiritual awakening and you are so evolved and you are so self-aware and everything, but it doesn't mean that life is not going to challenge you. Because when we are, if you want to grow and evolve, the only way to do it is when you are challenged. When we are in our comfort zone, we don't want to change, right? We're like, oh my God, I'm cool, I'm just chilling. I don't want to do anything. But you're not really going to grow and evolve and become the version of yourself, right? That can hold all the blessings that you want to attract, because you want to experience your goals and desires, But in order for you to do it and to maintain those desires when they are being presented to you, you have to be a version of yourself, a certain version of yourself that has the capacity to hold those blessings, right? Because if not, you're going to attract it, but your emotional state is all over the place, so you're going to lose it, right? So that's why life challenges us in order for us to grow and evolve and to expand and to be the version of ourselves that can really attract and hold the blessings that we want to experience, right? Because at your current reality, you are not going to attract a different reality if you are not going to grow and expand, right? Maybe you will for a certain time, but it's not going to be sustainable. But when you want to attract something, when you want something to happen, you want it to be sustainable. So in order for you to do it, we have to grow and evolve. And in order for us to grow and evolve, life will present challenges. But the good things in now, when you have all the tools and you know exactly what to do and you know exactly how to stay present, how to calm your nervous system, telling yourself, I'm good either way, I don't need it, I need everything I need, I got everything I need right here, I'm all and complete. So your reality is going to shift, I promise you, because I experience it. So the real key is every time you feel like you really attached to something, like you really want something, and it's like a life or death situation, or if I'm not going to get it, this is like my whole world is going to crumble or whatever. Remind yourself that that's not the way to receive things, and just think about your own. I'm sure that if you are watching this video, you have like life experience, right? You have life experience, and you know that the things that you wanted to receive in the past, you actually receive them when you really weren't that attached to them and you are just flowing and right. So you know that that's the key to receive those things, right? So every time you start to feel so attached or whatever, or you know what, just remind yourself, okay, Limor, you're good. You don't need anything external. And if you want to receive this thing, you're holding on too tight. You need to release it for a while. Just put it aside for a while. It doesn't mean that you're going to give up, right? You just put it aside and put your focus on other areas of your life, right? I'm doing what I can, right? But when I start to feel like a little bit like anxiousness, I know that I'm in a big trouble, right? Because I'm not going to get it if I'm going to stay attached or if I want things to happen in a certain way. Or it's all about giving the universe a little bit of wiggle room, right? Because if like, I'm good, you know what? I'm good, I don't need you. So, it's not going to help you, right? And you have to recognize that sometimes the universe helps you, but you don't even see it, or you don't even let's see. I haven't seen for a few weeks already. They told me it brings manifesting power. Okay. Yeah, I heard about it. But I don't know, like everything just, you have to do everything in moderation. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's all about calming your nervous system, the way I experience from my experience. It's all about calming your nervous system and telling yourself that you're all and complete and you've got everything and you don't need anything outside of yourself to feel good about yourself. Yeah, of course you have goals and desires. Yes, that's okay to have a preference. That's okay. It's also okay to be attached from time to time because we're human. We can't like, oh no, I'm not allowed to be attached. Or no, that's also resistance. So instead, like I said, instead of thinking, oh, how I release this attachment, think about how do I trust more? How do I calm my nervous system more? How do I tell myself that I'm good either way? So how can I really calm myself down, right? And when you calm your nervous system, the reality, it will be reflected in your outer reality. It's just the universe going to copy your vibration. You want something, the universe, yes, you want something, right? You're telling myself, I don't have it, the universe, yes, you don't have it. And when you say, oh, I'm good either way, I'm whole, I've got everything I need. Yes, you got everything, and all the blessings are going to just, going to come in. So this is why I learned from hard experience. And from time to time also I have like attachment, but now I'm just catching myself. No, Limo, it's not going to help you to be attached. Just go back. Visualizing, to visualize what you want is another way to release attachment. But when you are visualized, like not in a fun way, like in an anxious way, that's attachment, right? Just look at little children. Our little children, they're like acting as if, they're acting, and they're really playful with it. And that's the easy way to manifest and to draw and to attract things into your reality that you want. And remember that if things are not happening in a certain way, or if someone is not going to respond the way that you wanted, so you have yourself and you know your worth. That's another thing. When we work on our self-worth and we know, so it will happen automatically. You will tell yourself, I'm good either way, because you will appreciate yourself so much, right? You appreciate yourself, and you have like a high self-esteem. So that if you get a no, so if things are not happening the way you want, oh, you know what? I'm good either way. Even if you don't believe it, tell it to yourself over and over again. I'm going in front of the mirror. I'm telling myself, you know what, Limor? I'm good either way. I don't need anything outside of myself. I don't need something external to feel good about myself. I don't need it, right? So if you want to brainwash yourself, brainwash yourself with those things instead of, oh, I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know how the other person is going to react. I don't know. Oh my God, I feel anxious about it. Just recognize, okay, that you always have those emotions, right? Allow them, just allow them, give them space, right? Embrace them, and then start to affirm the opposite. No, you know what? I'm good either way. I don't want it. I don't need it, right? So let's see the comments. Yes, that means that the emotions that burns in you, because you abstain it, you transform it into I instantly manifesto. Yes, our consciousness and our consciousness and our focus, it's the fuel. It's the fuel. So if you have a lot of anxious thought, you have a lot of anxiety, and you over and over replay it in your mind, and you put your focus, you are actually fueling those emotions and thoughts. So that's why it's really important. There's a saying, be the guard for the gates of your mind, something like that, right? You have to be the guard, and you have to allow or not allow certain thoughts. So if a certain thought or emotion if it's making you feel good and better, allow it to be. If it's not going to make you feel good, if it's emotion that make you feel like really down and negative and depressed, acknowledge that emotion. Don't resist it immediately. Acknowledge it, and then affirm the opposite. Right? Because when you resist an emotion, you actually anchoring it in. Right? What you resist persists. Right? So allow it to be, and just have an argument with your mind. You know what? No. I don't need it. I'm good. I'm good. I don't need anything outside of myself. So just keep telling yourself those things, right? So if you have questions, go ahead and ask in the chat. So just remember that you are really good either way, because when we came into this reality, we came as like perfect, innocent, consciousness or soul or whatever we want to call it, right? Like look at babies. They're so perfect and innocent, right? But when they are grow up, society kicks in and oh no. Now you have to work for, to be worthy, to receive it, all those rules. But actually, it's the same consciousness, it's the same awareness, right? So remember that you are already all and complete and you've got everything and you don't need anything. It doesn't matter what it is, anything outside of yourself to feel good about yourself. You can make yourself feel good about yourself, and then the reality will reflect it back to you. This is how it works. This is like the rules of the universe, right? So it's not just, oh, it will be nice to think positive and stuff. No. This is how it works, right? So I hope you enjoy this live. So let's see if we have other questions. Personally, most of the time, I don't really feel anything. You know what? Sometimes being neutral, it's a good thing, but you have to just ask yourself, you don't allow yourself to feel anything? Ask yourself. You don't give yourself permission to feel anything? Because this is really critical, right? We have to give ourselves permission to feel in a certain way. But what we are doing most of the time is that we wait to something to happen and then we give ourselves permission to feel in a certain way. Right? But this is the key. Allow yourself to feel the emotion that you want to experience right now, and then you're going to experience it, right? So right now you can make yourself, if you want to, you can make yourself feel emotion of love, of peace, right? It's simple. Just think about something that make you feel like, good. Some past experience or someone that you like or some family member, or maybe you have a dog or a cat that you really love, right? So there's like a lot of things that you can use in your reality to allow yourself and to give yourself permission to have those emotions right now, right? So instead of waiting for the emotions to come in, create them. Create those emotions inside of you and tell yourself, you know what? I don't need anything to experience this emotion right now. Be grateful. Like the easy way for me is to be grateful. I'm grateful just for existing. This is a privilege to exist, right? Because in this 3D reality is not going to be permanent, right? We are going to move on in a way. So right now you experience, right? I'm looking at the sky, the blue sky. There's a little bit of sun. I'm breathing, I'm healthy. Like, this is such a blessing. So you can allow yourself and to make yourself feel a certain way if you want to, and if you put your focus on it, right? Just think about like few things. So there's another book that I want to recommend, the book called The Magic. It's by Rhonda Byrne. She wrote The Secret, and basically she gives you 28 days of like repeatedly. You need like 28 days in a row that she gives you every day an assignment in regards to gratitude. So why 28 days? Because after 28 days, it becomes a program in your subconscious mind. So that book really transformed my life because I actually, by doing this book, you're taking your energy and for 28 days in a row, you just focus on gratitude. And there's like little things, right, that you incorporate in your daily life. So go and get this book, The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. Right, so thank you so much. So thank you so much for being and engaging in the chat. So I'm going to see you in the next live. If you have question, you can go ahead and ask if you're watching the replay, you can go ahead and ask in the replay. So thank you for much. Have a great day, have an amazing day. And I'm offering, just for you to know, 30-minute clarity call, totally free. So if if you want to, you can apply using the link below. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. And I hope you enjoyed this live. Sending you so much love. Bye bye.